So what was going on in your life and your business right before you decided to work with me, bro?
Well, what I thought was nothing, to be honest with you. I was just perusing the internet and I came across this dude on Instagram working out and he had a motivational statement and I liked it. And within 20 minutes, I was on a 2-hour phone call with this guy named Jai. And kind of what was going on in my life was I was just freshly divorced. So figuring out that, when you go through the divorce, it just changes your life. I have kids, so you're not seeing your kids anymore. Your finances are split in half. You're dealing with courts,
Mm,
lawyers, reestablishing yourself. So yeah, I was kind of at a low in my life,
mm,
and in terms of my goals at the time, I've always been in and out of the gym, consistent, inconsistent, but it's just the same story every time. You
mm,
make progress, something happens, you lose progress, and
mm,
never really get into the finish line. And I always had a kind of a mindset that the time's going to come. When
mm,
I have X amount of time, when my kids are X amount of age,
mm,
there's always a self-made excuse that you see other people and they have the perfect situation, and the reality is that's so far from the truth. And the only thing holding me back was me. Um, so, a long story short, nothing was really going on in my life, and Jai showed me how I could turn that nothing into something.
Yeah, that was a crazy 2 hour long phone call, bro. And I guess like
It
what
was.
specific, yeah, it was very interesting. What specifically made you say like, I need to fix this like now rather than, just keep pushing through what you were doing?
To be honest with you, how simple you made it sound, because literally to go, I can't remember what day it was, but it's like a Tuesday or Wednesday, just doing
Mm,
nothing, and then to have you blow up my Instagram and we talk immediately. You showed me how feasible it was, and you told me your backstory and your situation,
mm,
and really, the number one thing that attracted me was the mindset. Because
mm,
life's always going to do what life's going to do, whether it's health,
cool.
finances,
Mm,
significant others, family, injuries, and just making it simple. I'm a simple guy. I overcomplicate stuff. So really
mm,
just, kind of, I thought I had all this stuff I had to deal with from being in the military, PTSD,
mm,
injuries that I had from the military. And you really simplified it and said the only thing holding you back is you and your brain. And then, kind of going through a day-to-day process on how to rewire things and make this easy and actually um, execute the plan, to be honest, because it was really just throwing shit at the wall, hoping it would stick one day. And there was no plan at all. I would go for, let's say, 2 to 4 months, and you look in the
mm,
mirror one day and you either say I'm fat as fuck, or you say I'm skinny as fuck, or you say, hey, I'm doing great.
mm,
But there was never what's what I'm looking for here. It wasn't a clear cut plan that I had for me, So pretty much going through, this is where we're gonna start. This is the goal. Oh, sorry. The number one thing I got was a why. The number one thing I got was a why. Before working out, it was like, yeah, I want to look good. I want a hot
mm.
chick in my life. Blah 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 blah. I'm insecure. But the number one thing that I learned was why I need to be doing this, because it literally bleeds into every aspect of my life. So Jai broke it down, what goals I had for myself in business, finances, as a father, as a man, as a
Mm,
Christian, and really broke it down and showed me how why just becoming disciplined and consistent overall is going to bleed into everything. And it really has. Before, I'm kind of a hothead. I'm half Scottish. So I would blow up at
mm,
minor inconveniences like dropping water or spilling something. Like I would blow up. And obviously, that's no way to live, So just processing information, having a why that's bigger than what the world's gonna do, than life's BS. It
mm.
just makes it easy to stick to it.
Yeah,
it makes it very easy to stick to it when you have something bigger than yourself.
bro, 100%. And then like, I guess like, what made you choose me over other options, or were you even looking before, or did you even
Uh,
like process the idea of like actually wanting to
n-
work with someone through this?
yeah, so I wasn't looking at all. I had no at the time I had no interest in a life coach. I had no interest in a plan. I literally
Mm,
just I saw Jai post. I can't remember what it was a motivational quote, pretty much saying about I want to say it was about pretty much being an example, like for it's something about being like a father, like
mm,
setting an example. And I was like, yeah, I like that. Like that's legit. And then
mm.
immediately I got a DM, saying, hey, thanks for the follow. Do you like the content? Are you interested? And I said, I think I replied back like, hey man, just really like the stuff you're posting, like keep it up. And he did what he does best. That's why he's in the business. And he said, hey, we can do this for you too. And do you have time for a call? And I said, fuck it, I'm not doing anything else. Why not? And literally, the fact that this guy in Dubai can take 2 hours out of his day and hear my story, hear my background, hear what I'm going through. And before I even paid him, already started helping me out, already gave me advice, already gave me lifting tips, trying to nip stuff in the butt. And pretty much he really showed me like, hey, you are going through stuff and it's valid what you're going through,
Mm,
but you are still the problem. And I always thought I had to go to therapy. I always thought I needed medication.
mm,
Always thought, I needed X amount of money to start. Everything's just a self-made defense mechanism that it's okay that I'm failing. It's okay that I suck. And it's really not, to be honest with you, because there's so many other people that have no
mm,
legs, no arms, no job that are killing it with their
mm,
fitness goals or even the opposite. So any excuse is bad. But anywho, I had no plans of it, but within talking in 2 hours, it was
mm,
pretty much like, this is the mindset I would love to have. Like I would love to live this way too.
mm,
And it has done wonders for me, like my best friend died working with Jai, and I a year ago I would have just self-destructed, like
mm,
absolutely would have totally thrown me off. And there's been things that have happened this last year that have been tough, that have been very hard, but
mm,
the amount of stress that I can process, the amount of information I can process, the amount that I can put on my plate now, I'm a completely different person. And it's really shown me that I can be whoever I want to be. It's really up to me. So any goal is feasible, any task is accomplishable, and it's just how you
mm.
want to tackle it. One and the number one thing that has changed my life, I tell this to everybody I know, because I try and promote you, is do one thing at a time. It's really changed my life. Just that little
That's
simple
stuck with you.
philosophy. It's the number one thing I've taken away from this, because I used to think about my goals for 5 years, 10 years, stuff I have to do next week, stuff I haven't done the week before. And as long as you're doing your best, if you do one thing at a time, you'll accomplish everything on your plate.
That's so good to hear, bro, that you're
It,
still applying that to this day
yeah.
as well.
I think I say that to myself every day.
That's amazing,
Even
bro.
at the even at the gym, if I'm driving, if I'm cooking, if I'm parenting, if I'm at football, normally I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta go home and do blah 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 blah. But it's like, we're doing this, we're gonna do it 100%, and we're gonna move on.
Bro, that's so good that you've adopted that mindset. But like what surprised you, like what surprised you about the process as well with working?
So I think what surprised me is it is hard, but
Mm,
it's not impossible. We make it impossible for ourselves,
mm,
because we as especially Americans, we see the end result, and as humans we always want the end result. We
of
always want the
course.
end result. I want the promotion, I want retirement, I want the house, I want the marriage, I want the abs, I want the build, I want the money, and we never want to put in the work for it. But whenever life got hard and I tried to bail, Jai was right there to catch me. He's right there to see my bullshit, because it does take time to rewire the
Mm,
brain. And we overcomplicate things so much. And it's like, well, I can't do this today because I had this, this, and that. And is always a breakdown in myself, a breakdown in communication, a breakdown in impulses, whether if I stayed up too late, whether if I was just not working as hard. But long story short, it is hard. It's worth it. It's definitely not impossible. You have to die to your old self, like Jai said, and you have to think about your new self and the things you really have to do. And it's honestly easy. Like once you get started, once you do a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, it just becomes wash, rinse, repeat, and it makes it so much easier. It's easier to maintain than it is to lose it, to be honest with you. So it's easy. Like it's so much easier for me to wake up and make eggs, white eggs, low carb diet instead of driving all the way to a fucking fast food place and spending all that BS money and feeling like crap. Like I used to have a really bad energy drink addiction. I would have 4 energy drinks a day, which is insane. Now we're on coffee. I would two of my meals out of the day at least were processed, whether it was fast food, freaking freezer food. Like it was just a very shitty diet. And now it's all whole foods. It's all red meat, chicken, rice, veggies. So that alone, like outside the health perspective, finances are insane. How much money you actually start saving when you learn how to be an adult. So financially, I'm saved so much money this past year. Like I've probably saved more than I've paid.
Massive. It was a huge change financially as well. Because when you came to me, it was like a little bit, how's it going? But now you just recently came back from a holiday with your children as well, and to like have the freedom to do whatever you want. It gives you so much clarity.
I'm able to rent a house on a lake, on the water, be able to rent a boat, and actually give my kids a fun vacation, and something that I've never had as a child. So now I can provide for my kids in a way that I was never provided for in a year, which is kind of like I said, the process is hard, but it's beyond worth it because a year ago I would have never been able to do that.
That's so good to hear, bro. Was there specific moments like and things that clicked when you like actually felt a shift?
Yeah, 100%. It was always like I would just start sounding like you. I would say something. I would say something to myself, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. It's working. And like little things too, you know what I mean? Like your day is all a momentum shift, So the more you put off, the more behind the power curve you are. So like as soon as you wake up, just do it. Just do it. Out of bed, do your push-ups, drink your water or whatever. Go for a walk, do your work, whatever you do. But I start repeating stuff like, you versus you. What's your why? Do one thing at a time. Sit on your hands.
That's the best one.
Whenever I want to snack, I don't want to get energy.
Whatever it takes to stop the habit.
Yeah, I even got to a point where I left my wallet at home. That way I couldn't buy anything. I couldn't go to gas stations and buy energy drinks because it was such a challenge for me because I was just such a adult baby, So when it really started to click, number one was just when I started regurgitating the information. But literally your body starts changing drastically. Like I was 195, now I'm 165, which is crazy. I never thought like before I would have 30 pounds of fat to lose, but pictures are night and day. It's insane.
We'll put them up on the screen now on how insane the transformation is. Even the looks and the confidence, bro.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Like my face is leaner, I have veins everywhere, every which way. I'm comfortable with my shirt off. It's not to boost anybody's ego, but people notice, when you go to the gym, you have a presence about yourself. People look at you moving weight. And that's nice, but the most important thing is the lifestyle bleeds into everything, whether it's cutting your grass, whether it's business, social media, how you interact with people. The number one thing I gained from this is myself. I always
That's amazing.
relied on others to live. I relied on friendships. I relied on relationships. And
Mm,
if I didn't have anybody, I was just like self imploding. I was craving attention. And
mm,
now I can just go through my life kind of living it to my full capability. Yes,
mm,
friendships, relationships are important. They're nice to have people in your
mm,
corner, but I can now see who's going to fill my cup, but I can see who's going to take away.
mm,
And I've taken out people that aren't going to fill my cup up, people that were holding me back. And I'm only attracted to or putting myself around people that are going to keep with the mission, buddies that I work out with.
mm,
So it's liberating. It's liberating finally being able to just live and accept yourself. And you don't need energy drinks.
mm.
You don't need to
The
download
jump.
dating. You don't need to
Yeah.
call 5, 10 people a day. You know.
You're comfortable like being yourself. That's the biggest thing. And I guess like what's different now day to day compared to what it was back before
Um,
we worked, bro? Like what is like the main things that you've noticed?
I'd say I have purpose again. Before
Mm,
I felt like life wasn't worth living. To be honest with you, there was a point in time before meeting Jai that I did have suicidal ideations. But it's instead of just like missing the picture and thinking like,
mm,
"Woe is me, my life." I got shafted. I got shorthanded, which is
mm,
it's so dumb because someone always has it worse than you. Always remember that.
mm,
Um, but actually being excited to get out of bed and being excited with
mm.
what I accomplish every day, even being excited in little things. Like I'm still excited if I choose to eat egg whites instead of a fast food thing. I'm still excited if I go to a restaurant and don't get fries and don't eat burger buns and get nothing but water. I just went on vacation. And it's the first vacation I've ever been on where I haven't gotten drunk every day. I didn't need alcohol.
That's
I don't, I
amazing,
don't,
bro.
I
How was
don't,
that
I don't.
how was that experience like not needing alcohol when you went out to
It
take
was
your kids
good.
out?
It's
Like
you
like
don't.
like run me through that. Like what was the thought process, bro?
Yeah, so I have a lifelong drinking problem. I started when I was about 13 years old because my parents both drank, and it's just in my family you drink to have fun. So it was always the example. Being in the Marine Corps, you had the most friends if you drank the most. That's how it worked. The guy that could drink the
Mm,
most had the most friends.
mm,
So drinking was more of a thirst to fit in, a thirst to look cool, which is the dumbest thing ever. Um, Number one, realizing how much better you feel when you're actually hydrating properly,
mm,
your electrolytes are up, your macros are on par, how much you can achieve that way, how less tired you
mm.
feel. But you just don't need it. It doesn't do anything good for you. Drinking has never done one good thing for me. If you look back on it, it's
It's
just
just
dumb
poison.
decisions and wasted money. And for me, I'm the kind of guy that I always hurt myself if I drank. So if you're gonna be that much of a toddler about it, then you don't need it. So I promise you, you just the physical health is great, the mental health of not eating is great, but you have no idea how powerful you are when you go to a lake, you go to a bar, you go to a party, and there's 50, 100
Mm,
people telling you, come on, do this, do this, do this. It's only one. I can't tell you how many people I know, including friends, including past relationships. They're like, oh, you think you're better than us because you're dieting, because you won't eat candy, you won't eat ice cream.
mm,
Actually, I have a goal and I'm going to accomplish it, and you clearly
mm.
don't understand that.
How does
So
that feel? Like when you like, is it like taking your power back? Like explain your thought process with that, bro. Very keen to
yeah, I
know.
mean, you don't want to say you feel better because that's not why you do it, but
Mm,
you feel powerful, like you feel like you can literally do anything because you don't need the peer pressure, you don't need the ice cream, you
mm.
don't like it's. Is it tasty? Yeah. Is it
Oh,
fulfilling? No. You immediately regret and hate yourself afterwards, whether you're bloated, whether you're on the toilet, whether you put on a pound the next week. Like, it's not going to accomplish anything for you long term. Like,
mm,
it's just a quick dopamine
mm.
release. Whereas um, delayed gratification is real. And if you do
That's our
something
favorite
hard,
word, bro.
yeah, if you, that's something I learned. I always I have really bad ADHD, so I'm like a now. Impulse
Mm,
equals dopamine.
mm,
Um, So now it's like, hey, that ice cream is cool. You can have it, but I
Mm.
can have my shirt off and I look great and I feel great. And just
Such a good feeling.
the goal and sticking to the goal. And when life throws all those temptations at you and you still stick
Mm.
to the goal, that's way more tasty than that ice cream will ever be. That's way
And-
more fulfilling than that ice cream will ever be.
yeah. And now, like, what are people like actually, noticing or saying since you've become this new version of yourself?
Oh man, it's left and right. To be honest with you, social media, people are reaching out all the time. Um, it's weird. Social media, a lot of dudes hit on me now, so whatever. If you're watching this, I'm not into that. But anywho, so that feels good. Obviously people are complimenting you around the clock.
Mm.
Friends, what changed, what happened, who are you, who is this guy?
Yeah.
People in my company asking me advice, reaching out, what are you doing? So the world will tell you if you're on the right track.
Mm.
You don't have to, you don't need it, but life will tell you if you're on the right track, if you're heading in the right direction. Just because the amount of people that reach out, what changed, what are you doing, and the amount of stuff that has been attracted to me too, and the amount of
Mm.
opportunities that have been attracted to me. My
Mm.
work now, I've become a go-to guy. I've got a lot of opportunities financially and just a lot of opportunities to go and do things. Um, Other
Mm.
businesses reach out, other sponsorships reach out.
Mm.
So that alone is great. The amount of stuff that I've been able to
Mm.
do, and I've been able to invest now with my finances, that I have a surplus of finances. So now I'm liquidating my assets. So that's been a
Mm.
blessing. Whereas before I would have never been able to. And just it's a no-brainer when random people come up to you, whether it's the gym, whether it's a public environment, and just you
Mm.
notice people want to talk to you.
Bro, that's
It's
that's one of
almost
the
annoying.
that's one of the biggest changes I see, and it's like such
Yeah,
a good feeling because then when you start to notice that, like, this is not what we chase, but when you start to notice the external things starting to change and things coming to you, and you're attracting it because you're being that energy, that's
yeah,
when you know you're on the right path. But
yeah.
bro, how would you describe who you are now versus who you were before we actually got on track and got everything started?
I don't even. It's crazy because I don't recognize the guy in the past. To be honest with you, like I can't believe I was that person. When I look
Mm.
at my pictures when I first started, it's like I was a fat fuck. Like, and I had no idea. Like, I thought I was decent. I thought I was okay. But like looking at pictures of me now and back then, it's like
Mm.
that's never gonna happen again. Because now
Mm.
I have a standard. Now I have a
Mm.
goal. I have a destination. Whereas
Mm.
before it was just there's a lot almost, if you will. There's no
Mm.
progress. There's
Why
always,
do you
like,
why do you think that lap was there? Like, in your mind, like, what were you going through mentally?
I mean, I was going through a lot mentally, but the number one thing was I was mental.
Mm.
I had a lot of stuff going on, and I allowed the stuff to bring me down. I allowed the stuff to hold me back and say, it's okay. I just went through this.
Mm.
Give yourself time. Eat whatever you want. You're going through some hard things. Feel better. Blah 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 blah.
Mm.
It's okay. You got divorced. You'll get back in the gym eventually. Give yourself a year. Give yourself 2 years. When your children are older, then you can finally be the fit
Mm.
dad. You know what I mean? And I was waiting, I was waiting for life to be perfect where now I could
Mm.
finally commit. And we call it a fugazi. It's such a lie you tell yourself when you start waiting
Mm.
for life, because before you know it, you're 30, before you know it, you're 40, before you know it, you're 50, before you know it, you're 60. And it's
Mm.
going by so fast, you're never going to get anywhere. So all you gotta do is set a game plan and execute. But you gotta have some kind of game plan. If you don't have a game plan, if you don't know your game plan, the number one thing
Mm.
this gave me was a game plan.
Mm.
But we didn't start with the game plan. We started with the problem. Because if
Mm.
you don't fix the problem, you're never gonna get to the solution.
And once we got the foundation on lock, it was just uphill from there. That's the most
yeah. And we started talking about the problem before we even invested, before I even had to pay anything, which was cool and all, but it really showed me like, hey, you and me are no different. We're just two guys. So if I want the build, if I want the finances, you made it so simple. Like, you actually, believe it or not, can do this. Anybody can do this. Just the only problem is this. And it's so true. And one thing kind of that I will say Jai really showed me the most is I always needed 2 hours in the gym. I always needed a half an hour to go on a run. I always had this like clear cut. This is what it needs to be. This is what a workout needs to be. If you get up and do 50 push-ups, if you run on your treadmill for 10 minutes, if you sprint up and down the driveway, if you take the stairs, like, we make so many bullshit excuses to be weak, to be weak-minded, to take the easy way out. And it's so, working out's easy, fitness is easy, saving money is easy, posting on social media, it's all easy. It's just, don't quit holding yourself back. Just believe in yourself, believe that you can do it, and you will do it.
And actually commit. That's the biggest
There's a
thing.
quote Michael Jordan says. He's like, I can't remember what it is. Like, you pretty much have to believe in yourself before you do it. If you'll never believe you can do it, you'll never do it.
I love this saying, what I have now, but you have to fake falling asleep to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So you almost have to believe it that you can actually achieve it. But sometimes you just have to be problem aware that there's an actual root, and that's why the relapse keeps happening. But bro,
and there's always a root too. Jai, that's one thing that you showed me, is there's always a root. There's always a why. There's always a what happened. Instead of like, at first I thought Jai was non-compassionate at all. At first I thought he was like, this guy hates my feelings. He hates my situation. Like, he has no idea. But that's just being a victim. That's a victim mentality. It was always a victim mentality. And very quickly it was like, okay, like, no, he at 100% does care. Because through this last year, I probably tried to fall off at least twice, I would say. At least, probably 3 times technically. And he was right there, blowing my phone up. And actually calling me out on my BS. And once we call ourselves out on our BS, and you realize that you are the BS, not life, not your situation, not your finances, not your job. You can be and you can do whatever you want. Once you realize you're the problem, and once you understand that it's okay what you went through, but why keep reliving it? Why keep redoing it? Beat it, tackle it, accomplish it. And who I am now is that guy. Where when I see a problem, it's exciting. I'm a dog trainer. If I get a hard dog, I'm excited. If I get a hard client, I'm excited.
Such a big mindset shift, bro. I'm so proud of you. Genuinely.
If I have to hit legs, I'm excited.
Looking forward to the challenges instead of running away from them. And that's the mindset that I wanted you to have, and we accomplished that, bro. So
it's cool. It's cool.
I just want to say I'm generally proud.
I appreciate it. Like, I'm an avid hunter, right? I would always I'm not a successful hunter by any means, but I'm an avid hunter.
I mean, you've had some pretty solid hunts, bro, from what you said.
I have, but I used to be the guy that was like, I have to go with somebody because I can't do it on my own. Well, I've actually committed to like a 2-week trip in the wilderness just by myself, going on an elk and a bear hunt. And it's like, we're going to figure it out. We're going to do it. We're going to be hiking 15 to 20 miles every day. It's going to be a hardcore trip, and it's going to be fun.
That's so good. The fact that you can go from like going from like always needing someone to now like complete isolation, you can be okay with yourself for a 2-week hunting trip with bears. It's insane, bro. And I genuinely want to say, like, it's been an honor working together with you. Like, what would you say to someone in your position who's on the fence, bro, who wants to pull the trigger, wants to change, but just doesn't know how to go about it?
I would say, number one, you would never regret it. It feels like a financial burden at first, or it feels like something. At first, I didn't see the value. I was like, holy crap. Maybe I can do this without the money. Maybe I can do this without the investment. But what you get, the turnaround that you get, and the number one thing Jai explained to me is everyone talks money. Everyone has a money language. if you make a financial commitment like this, you know, it already helps you stick to it. You have skin in the game. So I would say the number one concern I had was finances, especially with my current situation. But it's been so worth it a year later, because when you start off, I don't want to say negative, I don't want to scare anybody away. When you start off with this commitment, you're already committed. So now you're gonna
Mm.
put something into it more than what you
Mm.
would have without it. And the fact that we have weekly conversations, daily check-ins, I can text you and get a response immediately. Um, you know, I can send you pictures every workout I have, and you can tell me if I'm
Mm.
on track and tell me if I'm not on
Mm.
track. I can tell you any problem I have. I can tell you any win that I've had. And the problem that we have is your brain is so wired from living 20, 30, 40 years of life.
Mm.
It can be kind of hard to unravel that. So the number one thing is, if I listed a problem, because in the early stages I was trying
Mm.
to still do like factor meals, like the pre-made
Mm.
meals. And Jai really showed me how those are all bullshit. They're not they're not
They're
what they
not.
say they are.
That's what they are.
I would do like some weak workout. I'd be like, hey dude, I did I didn't have 30 minutes to run on the treadmill, so I skipped it. And Jai would be like, "Did you have 20?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I did." So I would talk about how I couldn't sleep, and Jai would say, "Where's your phone at? Is your phone next to you? Are the lights off? Are the curtains
Mm.
off? When was the last time you had caffeine? You had water? When was the last time you ate?" It's like little things like that, like even finding out like eating late in the day or having caffeine late in the day, which is just stuff you don't think about, because you're
Mm.
just, a lot of us are in survival mode. You know, a lot of us are just,
Mm.
you know, trying to fly through the day, trying to make it through the day. And little things like that that I thought were okay, that are actually part of the problem. It's like, it's, you feel dumb in
Mm.
the moment, but you need it. You need that the mentorship. You need the
Mm.
expertise that you have learned through your years and years of experience.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and it's helped out a lot. Like there's been times where like through the program, I'm like, dude, I'm tired of running on the treadmill. I'm tired. I don't want to look. I don't. And you'd be like, get a jump rope, get a punching bag, or you know, go for a walk, right? You
Innovation.
take up 10,000 steps. I think there's one day you're like, if you don't run, walk farther. And just finding like almost not life hacks, but like ways to make the process fun, ways to make the process more
Mm.
enjoyable, where you are looking forward to these things. And now I'm, you know, going on walks, enjoying life, enjoying the outside, you know, taking my kids on walks, you know, using life activities
Mm.
as excuses to work, not excuses, but you taking
Mm.
advantage of life activities to make fitness, to make
Mm.
mental, physical health easier. Because
Mm.
the number one thing that I learned about this is your mental health does start with your physical health. And if
Mm.
you are with your mental health, start touching it without even acknowledging your mental health. If you start working out, that will start healing on its own. And
Mm.
we worked on both, which has been the great thing. We worked on finances, mental health, physical health, lifestyle, routine, structure, consistency. We've worked on so much the last year, but that alone, it will heal you, you know. And so I would say, if you are on the fence, just do it. What you've been doing before hasn't
Mm.
been fucking working, so do something different.
Sometimes people just need to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
straight to
Like
straight to the
you're
point.
30, 40, 50, 60, you're not where you're at financially, you're not where you're at mentally, you're not where you're at physically. Do something different. If you've never made the investment, make the investment. And
Mm.
then now the cool thing is, a year later, obviously you have different programs, different payment plans. I did a year. With all due respect, I don't need Giant anymore, because now I can finally be that person. I can finally
Mm.
walk the walk on my own, and I can actually have a consistent game plan that I can produce on my own, where I do feel comfortable moving forward. I do feel comfortable living the rest of my life. And this is something now that I've worked so hard on it. It's easier to maintain than it is to lose, because you have so much skin in the game. And this is so
Mm.
much easier than what I was doing. The lifestyle is easier, the lifestyle is better, the lifestyle is more fun.
Mm. Man, that's amazing to hear. It's so in depth, bro. It's so sick. But yeah,
Just do
I'm
something different. Do
like
something different.
yeah, 100%, bro. And look, like I through this whole process, as much as ups and downs we had, the end result is the main thing, and we got there. And the whole point of what we do here is so that you don't need to invest in a mentor anymore, and you can go out and you know exactly what to do and how to execute in that field of your life. And I just want to say, bro, it was an absolute pleasure working with you, and I'm like so keen to see over the next year what you accomplish, because you've already accomplished like a lot since we haven't been working together, and like we're going to stay in like constant communication, bro.
100%, guys. There's business and there's relationships, you know, and there's clients that you work with because you have to, and there's relationships you make because you want to. And this is something that I know that, although I'm not paying Jai for his services anymore in terms of fitness, I will be in touch with him for business later down the road. That's something that we've talked about on the side. So if you have goals for your business, definitely check that out. But I also know that I have a brother that I can go to when I'm struggling mentally, when I'm struggling physically. I can send him a shirtless pic and he's going to be happy for me and not call me a homo. So when the more people you surround yourself with that are happy, that are living, that are walking the walk, it's so much easier to stay on that pace. If you surround yourself, if you cast your pearls to swine, as Jai says, you're gonna be rolling around. You're gonna be rolling around in some doo doo. So the more people you put yourself around with that just smile all the time, can laugh about the little things, that can listen to you, hear you, that work out regularly, that have a healthy diet regularly, like, you do it. You're going to stick to it. But like I said, I know Jai is now a brother of mine. I consider him one of my top 3 mentors in my life. To be honest with you, I've known him for a year and I'm 31 years old. So you're not just paying a guy. You're literally gaining a mentor. You're gaining a lifelong friend and someone who truly wants you to live the way that he has lived and seen the benefits from living a healthier, more disciplined, structured lifestyle.
Bro, I respect it, and I appreciate you taking your time out to show other people what it's like, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything.